Hey friends! Let me just adjust this. Yeah, how you doing? I'm gonna make an incense. I'm gonna kind of like show you the incense that I'm making. But we're also gonna, it's mostly a discussion video, and I thought, you know, because I kind of want to make this incense. So I was reading in this Facebook group, whatever, about if witchcraft, Wicca, whatever, is a trend. I'm just crushing up some frankincense for this particular incense. And you know, I got to thinking, I think witchcraft is a trend. And Wicca is a trend. Today, at least. I mean, 20 years ago. You know. And I know I'm gonna piss off a lot of people saying this, but there seem to be a lot of Etsy shops popping up. And YouTube channels. I got nothing against Etsy shops or YouTube channels. So before you fly off the fucking handle, zip your lips. And that's all cool, and so on and so forth. But these witches tend to, and I put witches in quotes for this particular discussion, these witches tend to disappear in like fucking 2 months, 3 months. And they come back, and they're like,
oh yeah, my life got so complicated, I didn't know what to do, I had to give up the craft.
Do you know how many videos have been made about witching through shit? Now, I've done videos in the past about particular instances where you shouldn't witch through things. Some of those things might be death, divorce, the boyfriend you've been with for like 25 years leaves you. Your son dies in a horrific car accident at the hands of his father because his father's a drunken idiot who decides to get road rage and drive really, really fast after the fucking Porsche just to fucking flip him off, and then ends up flipping the vehicle and their guts are splattered across the goddamn road and the mother is screaming and crying and begging and bleeding. Part of that was from Grey's Anatomy. If you watch Grey's Anatomy, I'll let you figure out which part. I like my frankincense to be kind of dust-like. I'm not making a lot of this incense, because you know my rule. We don't make incense unless we're going to burn it all at once. But I got some other incense over here that I made. I'm putting in white cedar. Okay? I don't know, like, I don't ever fucking measure my ingredients out, so I just put in good 2 or 3 pinches. What you gotta know about white cedar is that it has a very sweet, strong smell to it, and it overpowers anything else you put in there. So like, if you put in a cup of white cedar, you need at least 3 of anything else to overcome that smell. But I so happen to like the smell of white cedar. And you'll want to break it down really good because it doesn't burn very well on a coal. And if the camera's moving, the table's moving, because I'm, you know. But I actually kind of think that, you know, witchcraft is a little bit today of a trend, a cool thing to get into. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I think a lot of fucking housewives who have nothing better to do with their day get into witchcraft. Now, that is not a knock on any of the actual housewife witches on YouTube, okay? So people like Tequila or Ember Honey Raven or, you know, Ravenflower or Raven Ways, it's not a knock on you. It's perfectly fine to be a housewife and get into witchcraft. And again, not a knock on you, but a lot of the housewife witches have the pretty nails and the pretty hair, and they got the Etsy shop, and some of them are very serious in their craft, and kudos to you for being able to have all of your fancy jazz. That's fine. You don't have to be a poor old woman in the fucking backwoods, you know, with no fucking teeth and half an eyeball leaking out of your goddamn skull to be a witch. But I think some people on YouTube see these housewife witches and think that they can do this too. But what they don't understand is that this is a very serious craft. Okay? This isn't a joke. You don't just fucking pull out a Ouija board and say, you know, I'm gonna summon Booby Booby to come after you because I don't like you. I'm putting in rosemary. Okay. Don't ask me how much. Just don't. You're like, Adam, how much rosemary should we put in? Put in as much as you want. Or don't put in any rosemary. If you're wondering what this smoke is, I did a video earlier today on content stealing. You're like, honey, I saw that video. That was months ago. Yeah, for you it was. Where was I? Oh, yes. I think a lot of people who get into the craft don't realize just how much work it takes to get into it. It's fine to be new and to be a housewife and to have the pretty nails and all that jazz and to get into YouTube and to come on and make videos. That's how Ravenflower did it. Something about how she found that her questions weren't being answered unless she made video responses, and then I guess she just started sharing her craft. Oh god, this smells really good. But I want to balance out the scent. Do I have anything here to balance out the scent with? No? Ooh, I'll put in some... I'm gonna put in some Arabic gum resin. Just a little bit, not a lot. And she's learning every day. It's perfectly fine to come on to YouTube and to fucking make videos and learn. I mean, that's how we all do it, you know? You saw my earlier videos, I didn't have half the shit I have now. You don't need it. But then again, every witch tells you that, and they have it. You know what? Just go out and fucking buy it. You don't need it, but you might as well fucking buy it, because eventually you're gonna be like, I really want that. But here's a trick. Let me point to you with the right end of this dildo. This would hurt. Use a lot of lube. I do not know that from personal experience. Only buy things that you're gonna use. You've seen that I have 50,000 fucking mortar and pestles. I use every one of them. Every one of them. I have about 8 decks of tarot cards. I've used every one of them at least once. I have a couple I use more than others, but I've used every one at least once. Oh my god, I have juniper berries. So put in some juniper berries. You're like, Adam, what is this incense for anyways? I was having a really pissy day today because someone thought I was content stealing and told me I needed more than Palo Santo and all that crap. Crushing fucking juniper berries is not easy. And you don't need to crush them, you just need to kind of break them up a little bit. Oh, we're not doing that? Oh, okay. I don't know. I never know what we're doing. I think it is a trend, witchcraft, Wicca, today at least. There are some very serious people who come into this who want to get involved in this, but I also see a lot of 14, 15, 16-year-olds who want to get into this, and then 3 months later they're not even a part of this. And it's fine to be curious, it's fine to explore religious boundaries. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, I'm not, you know, harping on anybody for doing it. But I am saying that it does seem like a trend. When I first started out with Wicca, and you've heard the story 1,000 times, is with Charmed, and you know, I bought some books, and I've even shown you the Scott Cunningham books I've had since I was 18, and so on and so forth. But I came and went for the first 6 months. I came and went. What really got me hooked into it was herbs. Making my own incense, making my own teas, making my own whatever. Oh yeah, that's a really nice incense. Let's light up a coal. That's what got me into it. I think if you're new, you gotta find something that you really like about it. Whether it's setting up an altar, you know. One of my friends who got into Wicca really loved setting up altars, and she has like 50 of them throughout her house. She doesn't use half of them, but she really loves setting them up. She set them up in so many different ways, and she works with a few of them. Another one of my friends who got into Witchcraft really loves books of shadows. She comes from scrapbooking, so she's got beautiful books of shadows. For me, it's herbs. I love herbs. I have a whole fucking shelf full of herbs. I have a box in a closet full of herbs. I use every one of them. I love this incense already. I can just sit here and make incense all fucking day. So in case you're wondering what goes into this incense, frankincense, white cedar, rosemary, arabic gum resin, and juniper berries, which I may need to order more of because I am using juniper berries like there is no tomorrow these days. This incense would be really good for cleansing, purity, protection. I don't need protection, but you know what I mean. If you want to cleanse tools, you could use this incense because it's got the rosemary and the frankincense in there. The white cedar is also good for that type of thing. If you're working with spirits, I would leave out the juniper berry, but everything else. The reason I say leave out the juniper berry is because, you know, juniper is good for exorcisms and like removing negative spirits. If you have negative spirits in your house, this incense would work wonders for that. So yeah. But going back to the topic at hand, witchcraft and Wicca today, I do think is a trend. At least among the younger people and some of the bored housewives. I'm gonna throw that out there. Bored housewives are notorious for getting into this and then getting out of it. There are people who are coming from other faiths who kind of try it on and move on, or try it on and stay, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it being a trend today. But it does take a lot of devotion and practice. You can be a Christian witch or a Christian Wiccan or whatever. So, you know, don't think, oh, I have to give up one religion for another. Fuck that shit. There's absolutely nothing wrong with dipping your toe. Where the problem lies is when people start dipping their toe in. Okay? They start dipping their toe into the craft or whatever. And then they start fucking around with things they don't understand. Oh, Lady Gravedancer has a spirit board. I'll get me one of those. Don't do that. Do not fucking do that. Read up on spirit boards. Understand how to use a spirit board. When I got a cauldron, I got my cauldron, which is sitting over there that you don't see, but I got my cauldron because Sunshine Morning Ray was talking about cauldron magic. And I did a lot of research on cauldron magic. I use my cauldron all the time. Every ritual or working you've seen me do, I think so far, I have my cauldron, and I'm burning something in it. There's usually a roaring fire going in it. And that's because I use a lot of fire-based magic in my rituals. I start with incense to conjure the dead and so on and so forth. And then from there, I use a lot of fire magic to help do release and so on and so forth. Now you're probably also thinking, Adam, are we ever going to see another shadow working video? Yes. I'm just going to wait for some oils to be done first. There's nothing wrong with it being a trend. Witchcraft, Wicca. I think a lot of people get scared out of the community because there's a lot of assholes in this community. There's a lot of fucking armchair occultists and people who tell you that you need to be reading every book under the sun and you can't cast a spell until you've been initiated and all this other bullshit. And I think a lot of people come and go because there's that kind of bullshit drama. But Wicca and Witchcraft is really easy to get into now because there's YouTube, there's Reddit, there's Facebook, there's internet forums, there's everything. We have the internet now. We've had it for a while, but we have more access to things. I can get the fucking Key of Solomon off of some ancient text's website. Okay? That's how easy this stuff is. There's nothing wrong with it being a trend. Anyways, I'm gonna go because I need to do something with this incense. Because there's something else I want to make. I have another video coming. Don't worry. I won't leave you. I love all of you. Except for the asshats. I hate the asshats. Don't be an asshat. Love, love.